Hey everyone, it's Phil again. Welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. This time we're going to talk the inaugural PopCon Louisville, and I'm joined by Carl here. Carl, tell everyone a little about yourself and what's coming up for PopCon.
Oh boy, a little about myself. That's a can of worms. Born and raised in Indiana, Indianapolis to be specific. I'm an Indiana University grad, sporting that a little bit here. Business geek, so I got a business degree, but and I did that for several years before I landed into the wonderful world of pop culture events, and haven't looked back since. So we've PopCon has been around. I'm one of the two owners of PopCon, Chris Keys being the other owner. We've been around now for 10 years. We've operated for 10 years running pop culture events, and we're super excited about running our first big event in Louisville.
So things must be going good because yes, we're expanding. We're expanding into Louisville here.
Yeah, so it's interesting. In our world, single events will stagnate. So we were at that point where we decided that it was time to spread our wings and mimic what we do in another large metro area. And Louisville has been rolling out the red carpet for us, so it's been a nice experience.
Yeah, I always think it would be great to start a con, but I mean, I'm sure there's probably so much involved, so much work, and so much minutia and details, and
It
just
it surprised even us. So I started volunteering at large conventions way back in 2003 or four, and by 2012 when we were talking PopCon, I thought that I knew what I was doing, and boy, you really don't. I do now. I can safely say that I'm an expert in this world now. But even with being around it for 15 years, from a volunteer / contractor standpoint, you really you don't know. We actually pride ourselves. So if you had any specific questions, I would tell you the exact right answer because we don't have any secrets at PopCon. We just truly believe that even armed with that knowledge, that you either wouldn't want to do it or wouldn't believe that you could. One of the two.
I mean, as you get bigger and bigger, do you have to expand the staff every year? Be like, oh, we need 5 more people, we need 10 more people, we need.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So we have some amazing volunteers, and then also our core group that works a lot year round now, especially since we doubled their work this year. It's actually interesting. So even though we were doing two events, one in Louisville, one in Indianapolis, just by the calendar, we're going to be doing June in Louisville, August in Indianapolis, April in Indianapolis again, and then June in Louisville. So we went from one a year to four in a single calendar year.
Wow.
And so, but once we get over that hump of those four in 365 days, then we'll be at least just doing Louisville, Indy, April, June, moving forward. But this next starting with PopCon Louisville, we have four in a single year, and it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
And besides pop culture, I mean, you get into the podcasting too, correct?
Oh, absolutely. So, well, but yeah, I truly believe that that's part of pop culture. I mean, podcasting is huge. It's one of those unsung heroes of the media world. There's a lot of fantastic content out there in podcasting that because you're not part of one of the big media conglomerates doesn't necessarily get a voice. And at PopCon, at least in the indie version, we have podcast awards. So we try and encourage people to submit their podcast to the awards because we want to give recognition to those excellent efforts in the podcasting world. We have a live stage at both, so I'm super excited about the new content that I'm going to get to hear in PopCon Louisville at our live podcast stage. So it's just one big happy world of podcasters. It's some of the nicest people. I mean, you included. So it's just that whole industry of podcasting. It's 99% of the people are in it because they absolutely love it, and the other 1% is making all the money that is even available in podcasting. And I know you understand what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of, I mean, I understand it, but I kind of get annoyed sometimes when I see it's like, oh, famous person, who already had a TV show or had something else is doing a podcast. It's like people already know you. Let the rest of us give us a window.
Oh, the windows are there.
Yeah.
It's like YouTube or Twitch
Yes.
or TikTok. You're a victim of your own elbow grease, I guess. So if you
Mhm.
really want to put the effort into it, anybody can be successful in that industry in any of those creator worlds. But there is a fair share of luck involved too.
Yeah, luck and hard work. And like I said, it's good because it gives everyone a voice. But yes, that you have to put the work in.
Yep.
So, first time in Louisville. So, what kind of what big guests do we have to kick off the first annual?
Okay, so I didn't print out a cheat sheet, but let's see. We've got Scott Patterson coming in from the Gilmore Girls. I think that's one of the biggest names that we have that seems to be really hitting resonating a chord with most people. I have seen Gilmore Girls, and I'm excited about meeting him because he's been fantastic to work with behind the scenes, and he's been highly active. So we love guests that are highly active behind the scenes. So pretty excited about meeting him. We've got Emily Swallow coming in from The Mandalorian. We have Ross Marquand and
Oh,
Cooper Andrews coming in from The Walking Dead. And then we have, and I'm of course going to miss some people, so I apologize. But we've got Tiffany Rice, who is a spirit medium. She actually is going to help. She's going to have her own event, which you can participate in at PopCon, to where you can she can connect to the spirits, and that's actually really neat to see too. We have Michael Copon coming, which is one of the Power Rangers. There's lots of Power Rangers, but it's a fun niche. And we actually last year in Indianapolis we didn't have a Power Ranger guest for the first time, and boy, we didn't hear the end of it. So I don't know if we'll ever not have at least a single Power Ranger at any event ever again. But they're such great people. We've had Michael out before, and he's a great guy. And we've got oh man, see now I'm gonna have to pull up my list. This is gonna kill me. But we've got so many great people. We have voice actors. We've got amazing anime voice actors coming out, and usually I print up a cheat sheet, but I am not at my own house, which is why the lighting is fantastic right now. Um, oh yes. So in addition to Scott Patterson, we have Yannick Truesdale coming out too, is also from the Gilmore Girls. So we've got a double whammy there as well. Kyle Hebert, which is mostly famous as Gohan from Dragon Ball universe,
mm.
but he has an entire list of amazing animes that he's been involved in. We've got Jay Hammond coming out, who is a very talented comic book artist. Ming Chen, speaking of comics, he's
Oh,
probably one of the smartest comic book minds on the planet. We've been good acquaintances with him for a long time, and we're pretty excited about having him
I,
come back.
I I did meet him once a few years ago. Very nice
Oh,
gentleman. Yes.
absolutely, absolutely. We've got Erica Harlocker, Alexis Tipton, Brandon McGinnis, who are all from My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Hunter x Hunter, Black Clover, Fairy Tale. We've got amazing anime content coming in. It's PopCon has been well known for bringing out some of the best voice actors in the business. Richard Horvitz is a prime example coming out. He is Invader Zim. He's also Alpha 5 in the Power Rangers. So he's is great. More My Hero and Attack on Titan. We've got Justin Cook and J. Michael Tatum. We have from Avatar: The Last Airbender and Hook. We've got Dante Bosco coming out. So really excited. I have not yet ever met Dante, so pretty excited about that. More Brittany Karbowski from Fairy Tale and Chris Weekamp from Ruby and My Hero. Brittany's also, I believe, from Attack on Titan. Then we have the incomparable Jim Cummings coming out, and I couldn't even begin to name the voices that he does. But most famously, he's Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 and the Tasmanian Devil and Darkwing Duck and just so many amazing things that he's done with Disney and several other properties. But his Winnie the Pooh, just being at the table when he's speaking as Winnie the Pooh, it just makes your kids' hearts sing. It's crazy. It's making my eyes water right now. He's just absolutely amazing. And then we also have been known over the years to bring out video game talent, video game voice actors. And so we have this year coming Roger Clark and Rob Weedoff, who are the stars of Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. So they're the main voices of both of those huge games. So that's the quick rundown. But we're also bringing out several, I think 4 world-class magicians that are going to be coming out that have all been, at least 3 that I know of, maybe all 4 have been on Penn and Teller's Fool Us. And they're going to be performing some inexpensive paid performances where it's just $10 to get in or $25 to go to all of them for the whole weekend. But they're also going to be doing on our main stage 1 free show just for admission into PopCon, just to show off. Caleb Wiles is one of the names, and he has started a nonprofit. And Caleb, I apologize if I'm getting this wrong, but I believe it's called Magic for a Cause. So I believe most of the funds, if not all the funds, are going to be going to that nonprofit that gets redistributed to charities. So he is a charity, but his sole goal is to give money to charities. So I think that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Being Pride Weekend there in Louisville, I believe we have just secured, and I can't say with definitive 100% certainty, but I believe we have secured a really cool drag show for our Friday night, June 16th, that we're really excited about. We're very there. The pop culture community is heavily invested with people of all walks of life, not any less than with the LGBTQ community. And we're really excited about having a drag show. We had our first drag show in Indianapolis last year, and it was the most attended event. I think it actually surpassed our cosplay contest for the drag show. And people were so happy, they were in tears. So it was such an amazing event. We're going to try and have that at all future events. It's just something really special if you've never been to an honest to goodness drag show. There are several things that I'm sure that I'm missing as far as the celebrities go. So I apologize to them because we just keep adding more people. I think we've still got 7 more people to announce, and we're in 3 weeks. So we've got a lot of, and I can't remember all their names, but we've got several celebrity but highly talented cosplayers coming in as well that we haven't even yet announced. In addition to all the Star Wars groups with the 501st coming out and the Rebel Legion and the Mandalorian Mercs, and they're going to be coming out in full force. And the local cosplay group, the Orcs, the Ohio River cosplayer group, is going to be out there in full force. And other online entities like Nerd Louisville, which is huge into the anime community, or is that the board gaming group? Man, I'm getting them all mixed up. But we've made so many good, fun contacts that we're so excited to build those relationships over the years. And it's just going to be, PopCon is just going to be filled to the seams with things to do. Laser tag, esports, tabletop gaming, huge. We've got an escape room coming in, and all this you can participate anytime you want. Walk up and play. Some of them have extra fees, but most things don't at PopCon. We try and keep it so that it's a simple, you buy your admission and you can go enjoy. We've got hundreds of vendors and artists coming in that are really excited. So there's going to be some of the best shopping and things to see and do on our vendor floor, in addition to all the celebrities and cosplay and everything else that's going on. We're really proud of the PopCon brand and the overall feel of PopCon. It's just super family friendly, and it's like a family reunion every year. So that's something we fostered here in Indianapolis, and we want to build that same kind of community in Louisville, where the people go out of their way to get vacation time so they can come to PopCon and see their friends once a year in Louisville or Indianapolis or wherever. And it's just something we're really excited about. And the only thing we're rolling out the entire PopCon blueprint except for the podcast awards and our International Film Festival. Those are big enough that we can really only do them once a year, because organizing an entire International Film Festival and podcast awards takes a whole different level of effort. But so those will still be in August here in Indianapolis. But everything else, we've got the live podcasts in the works. So I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but there's just so much I could talk about that we fit into those 3 days, that anybody that shows up, come by yourself, come with your family, but you're guaranteed to have a fantastic time.
Oh yeah, I mean, from that list, it sounds like, I mean, when you say pop culture, I mean, it's all there. I mean, you're naming all this stuff. I'm like, oh, they have that, they have that, and it's just, and I'm sure you're going to be like, whoa, slow down. But it's like, is there any ever thoughts of like coming closer to the East Coast? Just, I mean, for selfish purposes, because I'm like, right outside Pittsburgh. So I'm just like, we have shows out here, but I don't think anything this big and intricate. So
we have tried, I don't think that we're unique in any individual thing, but I think we're unique in the entire package, if that makes sense. So nothing that we have created was brand new to the industry. It's just a culmination of so many different things that we're putting under one roof all at the same time. And the way that we do it is, I think, quite unique in the industry. We keep our ticket prices lower than average, especially for the quantity of things that we're doing, because we want more people to be able to participate. We want the crowds. There's a palpable feel at an event when there's just the right amount of people, and I think we foster that every year. So East Coast, that's an excellent point. So Louisville, I'm not sure. A year and a half ago, when we were really doing the looking, would I have chosen Louisville in my top 10 as cities to move to? I would think, for our business sake, that we would want to move further away from our initial event. And our third event probably will be, if we get that lucky, will probably be quite a bit further away. So east or west or south, I think we'll move quite a bit further away. We fell into Louisville because it is a major market that didn't have a show at all. So moving into any other cities like the Pittsburghs or the Phillies, they already have some pretty big shows, and we would become second, or we would be competing for a similar crowd. But in Louisville, they didn't have anything anymore, and we're trying to fill that gap for the Louisville community. So it's they in 2017 and also again in 2019, they had a couple of different events in that I'm not going to name, but they did not have good experiences, both with the city or with the events themselves. And that's projecting a lot onto us, which has absolutely nothing to do with us, but people in the community have been very wary about another fly-by-the-night event coming in, which we are absolutely not. We're rolling out, like I said, we're rolling out our entire blueprint except for the podcast awards and the film festival, and we're bringing it all. I mean, it's full-fledged PopCon going on in Louisville next month. So we hope people get excited. We're going to start some radio ads here and we're really trying to, we had forgotten what we remembered about starting a first-year event. So being from Indianapolis and starting an event in Indianapolis, we had a lot of good word of mouth because we had loud mouths in our own community. But that's not true in Louisville, and we're really starting from scratch, both with building the rapport with the community and just learning how the city works and where the hotels are and all those things that you said, the minutia of running an event our size. we're not in our own backyard anymore, and we're having to retrain our brains from that, which we haven't done since 2013, 2014. So it's been interesting.
Is that one of the biggest challenges is just the word of mouth and getting the word out there, especially for like people who don't live in Louisville? They're like, oh, hey, come join the fun and stuff, and just
Yeah, but even Louisville itself. So marketing has become a very interesting animal. So when you can't afford primetime television spots on commercials, or spending way too much for a spot just on a random YouTube video, which you can't really control, it's a lot of Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. Or Google ads. There's marketing is a whole thing that has become only more difficult for entities like ourselves just to get the word out, because people's attention is drawn in so many directions these days. I played golf this morning with a gentleman that lives here and hadn't even heard of PopCon. So I mean, it's just it's frustrating, but it also points to the fact that we have a lot more to do. We have a lot more to do, and we want everyone to at least know that there is an option of this amazing event called PopCon. It's still their choice whether they want to attend or not, but we at least want them to know we exist. So yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, but social media, it's such a weird animal. It's just, you have to have the visuals, but also it's like, what time of day are you posting? And just making sure you get to the right. Yeah.
100%. Yep.
But no, we were talking about podcasters before about, the unsung heroes, but all those voiceover people you were talking about, those are the unsung heroes, just all the amount of work, and like, some of those people, it's just like all you would know them from, like, and again, if you're a successful voiceover person, you don't have one big thing. You've got like a list of
Yeah, there are hundreds. So yeah, the some of the voice actors have been in hundreds of roles over their career, and but that you've touched on something. There's actually it's a little bit bigger than that. So PopCon has gotten to the size where we could start entertaining the thought of bringing out some major celebrities like a Chris Evans, or somebody that's like ridiculously expensive, but it would be time. But I'm not sure that we're going to bark up those trees. So we have been very successful bringing out what I call the working celebrity. So the folks that whose not an insignificant chunk of their annual income comes from events like ours. So if we would bring out somebody that would steal the show, pun intended, it would take away from a niche that I think we're very strong in bringing out the true workhorses and people pleasers, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And I think, and I think if people appreciate that too. It's like, if I'm going to come and spend my money, I'd rather. I mean, Chris Evans, I'm sure, incredible guy, but it's like, I don't think he has.
I would not say no if he wanted to come to PopCon, but
No.
he was just an easy example off the top of my head.
Yes, yeah, no, but any of like the movie stars or stuff, I'm like, it's like, I'm sure they have no problem with money, but like I say, these voiceover actors, just the work they do, I'm sure they make a decent living, but it's not, for the amount of work and talent. It's
they work hard for it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Exactly. And they don't get the celebrity that, some of them that could walk down the street, you don't know who it is, and, unless they're doing the voice.
Right. Yeah. You could be walking right by Winnie the Pooh and wouldn't know it.
Exactly. I wouldn't know. But yeah, you gave us all that impressive list. But and again, we're gonna throw this out a few times. If we want to keep up to date, what's the website, social media? Where should people be looking for all this?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just popcon.us, popcon.us. And Louisville is June 16th to the 18th at the Kentucky Exhibition Center. And Indianapolis is August 25th through the 27th at the Indiana Convention Center. So it's pretty easy. They're spread out enough. You can come to both. we're really excited. The Louisville one's coming up real quick.
Oh yeah, it's only a few weeks here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at that point where I'm doing so much graphic design personally to design all again, the minutia, but all the banners that hang behind the celebrities, we design those,
Yeah.
or all the signage that you see around the con, at a good con, I should say, all the good signage that you see around a good con, we're designing that stuff. And we have to, when we get our floor plan, we have to say, we need to sign here, we need to sign here, we need to sign here, because the more people can find out their own answers, the happier they are, and the less I'm stressed about my volunteers saying the wrong thing.
So, and once again, more unsung heroes. I mean, with any con, but especially one like the size of yours, and it's like, yeah, if things run smoothly, if things look nice, kids. Yes, it's Carl and his team who
It's the
basically,
volunteers. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I'm the fire putter outer. So if you see me somewhere, it's usually because something's going wrong. But yeah, you're 100% right. We would not survive without the knowledge and the stick-to-itiveness of those volunteers. They're absolutely fantastic, from doing the panel room scheduling to running the tabletop gaming to running registration, which can be very stressful and boring at the same time. Doing checking in and out and aiding all those hundreds of vendors and artists. We have teams that do all those things. Even the guy that runs or the guy that's in charge of all the volunteers. I don't know that I'd even want to do it at this point because we've got so many volunteers. But he's been doing it since year one. So kudos to you, Les. But it's really nice to have those trusted individuals in those key roles, and maybe one day when we're spread across 10 cities, those are all our employees too. And boy, wouldn't that be neat to be able to give them a job of doing something that they love that much.
Yeah. So, like I said, those unsung heroes. Yeah, if this con's going smoothly, kids, yeah, it's not happening by accident.
No, it is not. It is not. Yep.
So, like we were saying, so are you nervous because again you've been doing this for years, but again you got a new one first year?
Nervous is probably not the right word. It's just we've got our work we've got our work hard hats on. I don't even know how to say that, but we're in pure marketing mode right now, and getting all those printables done, and all those things that just make it smooth for the attendee. Printing the badges and we're still one of the few cons that actually prints unique badges every event so that somebody has a collectible. And it's just all the little pieces this is when they all come together. But the scary part, so the nervous part, if I would call it nervous, no matter what event it is or what year it is, the bulk of the ticket sales start happening right about now. So we're spending all this money on all the hotels and the ridiculous airfares that we're having to deal with this year. And we're spending all that money without having even made it yet. So it's scary. This is a scary part of time every year, but again, it's all about getting the word out. And pre-purchasing is great. We love it when people pre-purchase, but I don't want them to be afraid to do walk-ups either, because you can just come in the day of the show and just come have fun. So it's scary every year because of people's purchasing patterns. But it's worked out for us in the past, so I've got to trust the model.
And people have been coming back, right? Like, I mean, like after the pandemic, like people like want to get out and have fun at these events again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And in 2021, we were actually very lucky. So there was what was the name of the variant in 2021? I can't even remember.
Oh, yeah, I can't
remember the name of it. But so there was the day before our vendors moved in, all of Indianapolis's restrictions lifted. So 2 days before they moved in, we had one-way foot traffic, single entryway to the convention center, single exit.
Mm,
Everybody had to wear masks.
yeah.
Every restriction you can think of, we were being required to mandate.
Mm.
Then the day before they moved in, all of them were gone all at the same time. And that was 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks before the COVID variant that everybody had to get revaccinated for 2 years ago. We were in that 2.5 week bubble where that didn't exist yet.
Mm.
So people came out in droves, and we didn't have to worry about whether we encouraged people to protect themselves. So a lot of people still wore masks, but we had a normal event in 2021, and we were very fortunate for that, because that was make or break for us, honestly, because an entire year because our bills didn't go away, but we weren't making any money for a year and a half. So and we weren't the only ones. I mean, events and theaters
Yeah.
and actors and musicians, everybody was hurting, and that was part of our big bubble.
Yeah.
We were part of that, and all the vendors. So I'm talking about those hundreds of vendors and artists. 90% of the ones that come to PopCon, that's their livelihood. They go to 40 to 50 events every year, every weekend, or one every weekend, 40 or 50 times, and their income was all gone. So if we weren't putting on an event, that whole industry just fizzles, and no one was making money. So we were very happy that we had a 2021 really pulled us up we were very lucky. If we had been a week earlier or a month later, it would not have been the same. We were very lucky in 2021.
Yeah, but I mean, and you did mention some comic artists, right? Because that's like that's my thing, is the comic books, and yeah, so
Yeah, we've got several comic artists coming out. Some of them just attend, so it's not even they're not even being celebrated as a guest, even though they are. And I wish I could tell you which ones they are. I know Stuart Seger's coming down for Louisville. He's done some pretty good properties, and he's from Indianapolis. But yeah, it's that's another thing. So we can touch on that. Being a true pop culture convention, yes, we are a Comic-Con, but we're also, yes, we're an anime con, we're a sci-fi con, we're a fantasy con, we're a cosplay con, and we're all those all at the same time, and trying to get the proper mixture of all those things stresses us the heck out every year because we want it all. In fact, this year we even added horror. We've always had it, but we added it because we didn't specifically name it as one of our genres, even though it was always there. So now we've got 10 different pillars, so to speak, of things that we have to fill every year. So it's fun and stressful, and nervous is the wrong word, but it's that we put in a lot of back end effort to make sure that everyone is having a fantastic time.
I think
We're not a fly by the seat of our pants event. We're not out to gouge people's pocketbooks. We will, if we're not taking it in admission, we want them to spend it on those vendors that's their livelihood, or those voice actors that it's their livelihood, or the person that runs the escape room. That's part of his livelihood, or the laser tag when we've got the state-of-the-art laser tag. He has spent a lot of money to create that kind of event. We even have Nerf battles coming this year. That's
nice.
So it's really cool for $20, kids or adults. You actually you can play, I believe, all day, but you get to keep the gun and the foam dart.
Wow.
So it's a pretty neat little package. And then there's a big blow up maze that comes along with it. So you're actually running around one of those carnival blow up type mazes right there in the middle of our vendor floor. And it's going to be really cool. And while I was saying that, another one we're bringing in a state-of-the-art maid cafe. So for those anime fans out there, and I hope others, there's the full-blown maid cafe that's going to be participating again right in the middle of our vendor floor. That is a truly amazing experience. They just, I believe they're from California, and they're coming out for us in Louisville, but they just went to C2E2, which is one of the biggest events of our kind in the country every year up in Chicago. And they just had a great time up there. So we're really excited about bringing them out. And there's just, I see, like I'm saying, there's just so much to do that I'm going to forget it all. And, you would then think, can I even do this all in a day? And I would say you're going to have a great time if you're only coming in one day, but PopCon is a multi-day event for a reason. So if you are able to come back more than one day, that is when you get the full experience of PopCon. Will you still have a great time if you just come on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? Yes. But if you really, 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 really want to spend the best time, the best weekend of your year, that's when you want to come at least a couple of days.
I mean, I don't know how a person visiting would do all that in one day, but I was about to say, I don't know how you put this all together. Just all the various stuff. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
And here, I'll do you a favor. Okay, I believe that is Father's Day weekend. So kids, or if the kids are too young, spouses, bring your that's the best present. Bring your father to PopCon.
Yeah, don't make dad grill out on Sunday. Come to PopCon. Heck yeah.
Yes.
Or at least make him grill dinner afterwards. But we've been on Father's Day weekend before, and it's been a successful thing as long as people understand that it is what dad wants to do.
Exactly.
When it's really easy to market to kids because we've got a lot of the flashy stuff. We're the bottom shelf of the grocery store. We've got all the cool stuff. But when you're an adult height, and I would say that parents end up having more fun than the kids even. They just have to allow yourself to look up every once in a while and see all the cool things that you love that are already there. And the adults have to let their proverbial hair down and just have fun with it because it's there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have a 10-year-old son. I know that would get him in the door. Nerf battles, laser tag. That would get it. Get him to check out everything else. Oh yeah, that's the gateway for the kids. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the adults. I swear the laser tag. It's so much fun.
Oh.
or sitting down as a family to play a board game that you don't have to buy, but you may learn that you want to. So. We've worked with a lot of the big game publishers to bring in some cool new games that they can play this year. We try and build up our tabletop gaming library a little bit more every year, and we've got more than 100 titles now, I believe, that you can just sit down and somebody can even teach you how to play. So you're not just sitting there reading the rule book. You can sit down with friends or strangers and just learn a board game. I mean, learn a card game. Because it's if you get off your phone every once in a while, there's a lot of fun things to do out there in the world.
Yeah. And again, on a purely selfish note, Carl, please come out this way because I'm telling you, in the Pittsburgh area, there's nothing this big and intricate out here. I mean,
so what big events do you have in Pittsburgh?
Well, like one of the big shows I know, at least in this local area, is like Steel City Con, and like they have guests and stuff, and they'll have like vendors. But I mean, it's pretty much it. It's just like a few. I mean, again, it has nowhere near what you guys offer at PopCon. So and all the other little shows. Again, it might be vendors. It might be like, it's like crafts people or like comic shops and local comic shops. But again, you're not getting everything you're getting at Pop. I'm like, oh my God, it just keeps mentioning more stuff.
And again, I'm still not remembering everything. The co-owner Chris will eventually watch this and he'll like, you didn't mention this. Why didn't you mention that?
Like how big is your venue that have all this stuff?
We've got, I think at the Kentucky Exhibition Center, roughly 250,000 square feet. And in Indianapolis, we're 7 acres this year. So whatever
Wow.
that adds up to. Indianapolis has gotten pretty big. But I see, right when I was saying that I had forgotten something, I know I did. This year we're doing a big, every year we try and add. So we're never trying to let things fizzle. We're trying to add to. And this year, by many years of popular request, people want to do things in the evening, and we've always had our tabletop gaming. You could still do the video games and everything well into the evening. But this year we're actually rolling out for real dance parties, like real dance parties with state-of-the-art sound. In Louisville, we'll have good lighting, but in Indianapolis, we're going to have like full-on EDM concert kind of lighting. The budgets are different when you're doing a first-year con and a 10-year con. But you won't notice because we're really good again at rolling out the PopCon blueprint. And over the years we've bought a lot of our own stuff. So all the cool audio equipment and video equipment that we have in Indianapolis, we just it's our own. We're our own AV company now, so we just throw it all into a truck and we're bringing it to Louisville. So in Louisville, we're going to have not just the drag show on Friday night, but immediately following is going to be a dance party right there. In that, and there's a huge mezzanine that is like a 50-foot tall glass room that it's going to essentially be a dance party. And we've got some amazing DJs that are going to be performing. But in Indianapolis, we're taking that this year because, again, budget's different, but we're spending a small fortune on our evening programming in Indianapolis, and we're going to have live anime bands and rock bands, and then some nationally recognized DJs coming to Indianapolis this year. And when all that is successful and we have proven our concept of spending that kind of money is valid, we'll roll that out again. We'll roll that out in Louisville next year too. So really excited about building up our evening programming and giving it a reason for people to stick around, essentially.
I don't know how you're doing it. I mean, everything you described, that would be multiple events. I mean, there are, music, either concerts or music festivals. Then there's shows that just do guests. And so basically you're probably doing like a couple different cons worth of work in one weekend.
More than that.
I'm sure.
But again, it always goes back to those unsung heroes. If it were just Chris and I, we wouldn't be able to pull it off. But over the years, we've built up a good, solid crew. This year we called it our Louisville crew because we have to pick them up, pack them into their cars, and move them to Louisville with us this year. Usually, again, working out of your own backyard, there are some things that just make it easy. But when you don't live in Louisville and we have to pack it all in, we have to pack the people too. So we've got our core crew and we're bringing them all. So it's really cool.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to let you go here in a little bit because I feel bad now. I'm like, oh my God, he has so much work to do. It's only a couple of weeks until Louisville. I'm like, why is he talking to me?
Oh, it's so much fun. Like we mentioned earlier on, any kind of word of mouth is how events like ours will thrive. So whether you're in Pittsburgh or Timbuktu, as long as you have heard of PopCon and understand what we're trying to accomplish with PopCon, this is a win for me. So I love it.
And again, Carl, you are a friend of the show now. If you need us to promote on social media, just let me know. I run the social media, so just let me know.
Oh, I love it. I appreciate that.
And once again, hit them with the website. Is there any social media, anything? Yeah, hit them with everything.
Yeah, so it's popcon.us. So that's really easy for the website. And then you can go to either Louisville or Indianapolis just by a simple click of a button from our website. We're on all the major social medias. We keep having to change we've had to get over the years different names, but it's Indie PopCon at most of them. INDYPOPCON at most of them. I think we've got PopCon HQ now on YouTube. We're slowly getting our own name. We're even going through the trademark process now too, because we need to do that. So we're our own brand, and we're just fighting to stay relevant in this wonderful world of conventions.
Is hey, and you don't want anybody like trying to make money off your heart, your blood, sweat, and tears, because
that is exactly right.
doing the Lord's work. All right. Yeah. So yeah, kids, go brand new PopCon in Louisville. So yeah, get in on the ground floor first year. You could say you were there the first year. So
that's right.
And yeah, yes, Carl, thank you again for talking to us and letting us know about everything. And God bless you. You're doing a lot of work.
I appreciate it, Phil. Thank you so much.
Thank you.